Tony D and Little Joan with Screenwriter's Rant on The Last Stop in Yuma County, an action thriller about some bank robbers who get stuck at a diner. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 14, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Not sure what year this takes place, but it is in the era of not cell phones. So I'm going to guess maybe early 80s, late 70s, somewhere like that. I'm guessing 80s because there is a damaged Pinto involved. And the cars look pretty old, but not that old. Maybe 70s. 70s, late 60s possibly. Anyhow. The plot is pretty simple, but kind of interesting. A group of bank robbers get to this diner in, I'm going to guess, Texas. And the diner is right next to a gas station, and the gas station is waiting for a gas delivery. It's out of gas. So people start showing up to the diner out of gas, including the bank robbers. So they just decide to come in and wait. Unfortunately, the waitress and the one guy in the diner recognize them. The bank robbers see what's going on, and they threaten them and say, don't say anything. So they kind of hold them hostage in the diner while they're waiting for the gas to come. But eventually they get word to the other patrons in the diner. There's a cop, and there's a bunch of other people, and it's Texas, so everybody has a gun. So there's a scene in it where they all pull out guns like, does everybody in here have a gun? These two are Bonnie and Clyde wannabes. They get wind of it, but they're here to rob the bank robbers. So there's the double cross. And then at some point there's a shootout, and I think the original guy from the diner is the hero in this. He ends up going after him, or maybe everybody's going after the bank robbers just to get the money. I'm going to guess everybody dies in this one. It seems like that kind of... It's shot in that very 70s way, too, because you look at the lettering and the copyright slug. It's all done in old school lettering. And here, a million people are in it. I don't recognize a single name, I don't think. Let's see. No. Nope, not a single one. But it's good you gave everybody a screen credit. I'll say that. So, I think there's a few character actors I kind of recognize, but not really. An old-fashioned shoot 'em up gloriously something. Gloriously unhinged. Yeah, it kind of looks that way. I kind of like the look of it. I like a bit of old school shoot 'em up. I like the look of the cars. The music's not really doing much for me. It's all old country music. But I gotta say, the actors look well cast. I like the sort of tone. It got sort of like the smoky look to it. It's sort of a classic, bank robbers holding everybody hostage kind of thing. If one thing had changed, they'd get away, but they're stuck at this diner. So I could see this being a tight 90. Yeah, I would check it out. Definitely an action thriller type movie. So first act, it's the diner. It's another day at a boring diner in the middle of nowhere. And dude's chatting with the waitress, and all seems well. And then they hear about the bank robbery. And then, lo and behold, the bank robbers pull right up, and they're instantly recognized by the waitress and the customer. They try to quietly talk amongst themselves, but they're the only other two people in the diner. So the bank robbers get wind, threaten them, kill all the phones, and then say, go about your day while we wait for gas and nobody will get hurt. So at first, that seems to be what's going to happen. But more people come into the diner who are unknowingly part of the deal. Now, some of them may or may not know that there's a bank robbery. We don't know, and that's part of the tension. And then eventually, Something happens. I think the young couple attempt to rob the guys with the Pinto. They attempt to like break into their trunk or something, and eventually they get into this weird hostage, a more direct hostage situation, and the waitress has already hidden a knife on herself. She stabs the guy, and it turns into a big shootout, and it basically turns into every man for himself trying to get the money. I think. Third act, I'm not quite sure. I think it turns into a bit of a free for all as somebody gets the money and then another dude chases them for whatever reason. Maybe because he wants the money, maybe because he has the money, and the other guy is still a bank robber, or maybe not. Maybe by this time the bank robbers are out of it and they're just kind of trying to kill each other over the money. I kind of think this ends with everybody dying, except maybe the waitress, who seems to be out of the thing, just wants to live. But I'm very interested in seeing it. So I think I would see this movie, and I think I would see it in the theaters if it was offered. Last stop in Yuma County. All right, let's read the write-up. A traveling knife salesman is stranded and forced to wait at a rural rest stop and suddenly finds himself in the middle of a violent hostage situation. So that's the customer. He's a knife salesman. Upon the arrival of two bank robbers who are on the run after a recent heist. So a nice, simple premise. Well executed, it appears. I love the look of it. You know, it's nostalgic while at the same time, you know, it doesn't luxuriate in the nostalgia, if you know what I mean. It's not like overdoing it. It's just there. It's just there. So, and without cell phones, you can have this situation. I can totally see it happening. Now, maybe younger viewers really can't relate to it, and that might be a problem with selling it, right? So if you're in your early 20s and you see a movie like this, you think, oh, why don't they just call the police? Oh, right, they don't have cell phones. Wow, that must have been weird. And they're already out of it, you know? They're already kind of out of it. They kind of, see, I've lived in a world like this. I've lived in, not with bank robbers, but I've lived in a world where you'd go to the diner, you had no phone. I mean, if you could borrow the diner's phone, you might be able to make a phone call, but, you know, it was a world where everybody didn't have a phone on their person. So it may not be as relatable to some of the younger viewers. But that being said, there's action in it, so maybe they could get into it. You know, maybe it's the sort of thing they would look back on and go, wow, people really lived crazy lives back then. I don't know what that's like. I'd just call the police and everything would be fine. Yeah. So I think this could be good. I think it could be good. All right. It's called The Last Stop in Yuma County. Action thriller. Sounds cool. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say take it. I say take it. I will be Saturday and Sunday at OC Comic Con in Ocean City, New Jersey at the Music Pier. However, Saturday I'm leaving early because I'm going to Lakewood Historical Society for a 2 p.m. talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. You can check out the article today at the Asbury Park Press. There it is right there. Jersey Devil hunting. Author will lead the way in Lakewood. Hope to see you there. We'll see you